America versus Canada. Does America need gun control? Here on The Greg Betler Show. Alright guys, welcome back. I know most of you are from my other channel. That shall not be mentioned. Anyways, so today we are going to be checking out what the gun laws from Canada look like compared to America. Obviously, we have a lot of guns in America. This is, something that we normally do, and we're gonna find out. So look, here's the thing, right? I'm gonna start us off with a bit of information. 10 million people own guns in Canada. And the population of Canada is about 37 million. 37 million. So 10 million out of those 37. So about 1/3, roughly 1/4 of Canada owns guns, right? Except for here's the thing. There's only like 500 gun deaths a year in Canada. That's including suicide. So you really gotta ask yourself, well, if 10 million people have guns in Canada, how come there's only like 500 deaths from suicide mostly? Well, because guns don't kill people. People kill people. And we're going to be looking into that. So right here, and I've got some information written down right here. We have 31 guns per 100 people in 2018 in Canada. So every 100 people, 31 people have guns in Canada. That is an incredibly high number for a country that's not allowed to have guns, or at least handguns, or any, air quotes, assault weapons, which we don't have assault weapons down here. Okay? We don't have assault weapons down here. Okay? We have hunting rifles that look like assault weapons. So your average AR-15, most of them are semi-automatic. And semi-automatic means you squeeze the trigger, it shoots one, you squeeze it another time, it shoots another, right? And you can do that real fast with your finger, but I mean, almost any hunting gun you can find is like that, except for bolt actions and some other kinds of guns like muskets and stuff. But like most of our AR-15s down here take 223 bullets, which is the smallest hunting gun you're legally allowed to use for deer, for deer hunting. Which in Canada they have 223s, they have 243s, they have 270s, they have 30-06s, they have 308s. They have a lot of these hunting guns that most of us use. It's just a gun, right? It's just the same gun as a hunting rifle, except for it looks like an assault rifle, which is interesting, by the way. If I sound a little bit nervous, it's because I've never done this before. Excuse me. Anyways, in America, oh my gosh. Please stand by. Anyways, so in America, we have 120.5 guns per 100 people, and up on the screen, I'm gonna have the link to all of this sources, where all of my information comes from. But 120.5 people per 100 people in 2017 for America. Now I know they're 2 different years, but they're pretty freaking close. Okay, pretty freaking close. So that means around 330 million people own guns, but some people own more guns. Like most people in America, if they have a gun, they most likely have 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5. That's just something really common down here. But you don't see people, at least, good people, the people with guns, the responsible people, You don't see them killing each other. You just don't see us killing each other, right? You know who we do kill? We kill bad people. We kill bad people trying to do bad things. Doesn't matter if it's trying to run people over with a car. Doesn't matter if it's trying to rear end somebody. It doesn't matter if it's just somebody attacking somebody with a knife. It doesn't matter if it's just somebody using a bat. We're using a gun because it makes it easier to kill that bad person. And here's the thing. Most school shootings happen in a gun-free zone. You know what a gun-free zone is? A gun-free zone is a place where good people are not allowed to have guns. You know what that gives the power to? Bad people. And you know what bad people do? They kill people. And that's the problem. And we really need to stop focusing on gun control. Mostly Canada. My advice to Canada would be, do what America does. It seems like we have a lot more gun deaths in America because we do. But you got to remember, they have 37.59 people. 37.59 million people living in Canada. Do you know how many people America has? 330 million. So, my dog's snoring. I don't know. Anyways, that's the problem. We have so much more people than you. We have almost 300 million more people than you. Of course, there's going to be a lot more gun deaths because we have so many more people. And most of our people aren't like Canadians. It's a whole different culture switch. Americans are, how do I explain this? Crazy, okay? I mean, for 4th of July, we like setting off nukes. It's just something we like to do. Anyways, but with Canada, the gun control gets so bad that there are still gun deaths every year. And it sucks because gun control doesn't wipe out all gun deaths. And you also have to remember, Americans don't have guns for self-defense reasons. I mean, well, some of it is self-defense. We don't have it because we like them. We don't have it because we can. You know why we have guns? For tyrannical government. That has already happened to us one time in the past. British, 1776. Remember that? That was a tyrannical government. And because it was tyrannical, our people had guns. And since our people had guns, we were able to fight them. And look at us now. We're a whole nother nation. That's the thing. The main reason we have guns is from militia. In the Second Amendment, it states about the militia that we should have a good and ready militia. And you can't have a militia against the government with guns if you only have knives. In Canada, that's a real problem. Actually, it's not a real problem. And I'll tell you exactly why Canadians don't need guns as much as United States. Because nobody hates them. They're just like some speck of dust nobody cares about in the corner of the world. They're just doing their own thing. Whereas America, everybody wants to take down America. And I'll tell you right now, if I was a country and I had to choose between attacking Canada or America, I wouldn't choose either if I was smart because, well, one, Canada's neighbor is the most powerful, the number one superpower in the world, the biggest, strongest military on the face of the earth, and two, because that first reason, because it's like Canada's like the little brother that hides behind the big brother. They camouflage themselves behind us. Because whenever you look over, notice how when you look at North America on a map, the first thing you see is America, or the United States. There's a reason for that. No, I'm kidding. Not about that. But the thing is that no one hates you. So you don't need guns as bad as us. Your government doesn't hate you. And no, we're not constantly in fear of our government. And it's not only our government, it's other people's government. If I get attacked, if I could be in one country getting attacked, I would rather be in America because there's 330 million people with guns. There's more people in America with guns than the army. 330 million people is a lot. That's a lot of guns. And not only that, say coronavirus hits, I don't know, say Toronto, because it's the biggest city in the world, biggest city in Canada. 7 million people. That is going to be one heck of a sight to see, because 7 million people in one city freaking out over corona just because they don't have any guns there. So people that do have guns are going to have a way more advantage over people who don't have guns, and that's a problem. Not only that, gangs and stuff go to stores and stuff and take them over and take all the food, take everything there, and they basically just use it, and they have a gun, you don't. So what are you going to do? They're going to kill you? Is that what's going to happen? That's a real problem. That's a real problem. I mean, everybody's freaking out, and it's unfortunate. And here's the thing, too, right? Not only that, and I know this podcast is like way jumping around, right, from point to point, but never mind that. Think about this, right? The amount of people that die in Canada is a lot more than you would think. Canada ranks 4th on gun homicides, behind France, Germany, and Italy, and obviously America. But the thing with America is we have like a big population, like a really big population, so that's the problem. And right here, Toronto had its worst year for gun violence, with more than 760 people shot. Addressing the upsurge is complicated by the fact that 75% of the weapons used are smuggled in from the U.S. That's the thing. People break laws. I know it's a very new concept to pretty much anyone. Criminals break laws. I mean, it's difficult. I would need a whole nother hour to explain that to you, but the thing is that people smuggle guns from everywhere in the world. Mainly the United States. And you know what bad people do with those guns? They kill people. That's the problem. And here's the thing, right? You can say, oh, well, America needs more background checks. We have perfectly fine background checks. In Canada, they'll give you a gun if you go through a very, very difficult background check. But here's the thing, right? What if you wanted to commit your first crime by killing somebody, right? Well, you can get a gun. If you've never done any crimes before, if you have a spotless record, you can get a gun in Canada, a hunting gun. And the thing with hunting rifles, they're somewhat easier to kill people with than handguns. And that's because you get the longer distance, you don't have to be so up close, and all these other things, which is, it's part of life, I guess. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. People break laws. I wish people didn't break laws, but you know what? It happens. And the 760 people shot could have been saved if they had guns. And that's just a fact. And the thing is that we're not going to stop selling guns because we need guns. Yes, bad people get guns, but it's not like they're not going to break the law. They'll get guns other ways. There's a lot of other ways you can get guns. And I don't know what the point of gun control is, because good people don't kill people, okay? Responsible people don't kill people, and there's a lot more responsible people than bad people. And the thing with bad people is they break laws. So it's not like it's going to change anything, okay? It's not like it's going to change anything. And the thing is that down here, it says criminologist and researcher Gary Kleck. This is from InGun. I think this website is okay. It's www.npr.org. I'll put a link on the screen. I couldn't remember. I can't believe I couldn't remember that. Anyways, it says criminologist and researcher Gary Kleck, using his own commissioned phone surveys and number extrapolation, estimates that Americans use guns for defensive purposes 1.2 million times each year. You know what that means? 1.2 million times each year people are saved by guns. You know, that's a lot more than 20,000 people dead. Or however many people dead. Do you understand that? Exactly. And that 1 in 6 Americans who have used guns defensively believe someone would have died but for their ability to resort to their defensive use of firearms. That means that people would have died if they didn't have their firearms. People would have died. Now, in Canada, if that same thing were to happen and they didn't have a firearm, guess who's dying? Guess who's dying? Exactly. In Britain, Great Britain, do you know how many knife deaths they have a year? A lot. They have a lot of knifings. They have a lot of knifings. Anything can kill. If you want to pick up a baseball and throw it as hard as you can at somebody's head, probably kill them. I mean, you can kill with anything, especially cars. Here's the thing, right? We have a car. Cars kill so many more people than guns do. It's just a known fact. There are so many more people dying to car accidents. It's insane. And just think about this. We can't ban cars. We can't, because they're useful tools. Cars get you from somewhere to the other really fast. They're very useful tools. So are guns. Hunting, that's a big use. Self-defense, that's another big use. Self-defense from a tyrannical government is another big thing. I mean, yeah. 20 years ago, economist John Lott, author of More Guns, Less Crime, and his research partner wrote, "We find that allowing citizens to carry concealed weapons deters violent crimes and appears to produce no increase in accidental deaths. If those states which did not have right to carry concealed gun provisions had adopted them in 1992, approximately 1,570 murders, 4,177 rapes, and over 60,000 aggravated assaults would have been avoided yearly." That is a huge number. 1,570 murders, 4,177 rapes. Do you know how big of a number that is? That is a huge number. They couldn't have been prevented by guns. And that was from www.npr.org. I'll put up a source link on the screen. And this one, and I quote, says, "Canadians look at America like we are just guns a-blazing, when in reality, they don't need guns as much as we do. They are protected by the government of the USA, in which if anyone wants to take them over, they will be stopped by at all costs. This is one of the many reasons Canadians are not scared of other countries trying to invade them, because they are not a target nor an enemy to anyone. They are just a frozen hunk of dirt chilling on the outside of the U.S.'s borders." Exactly. That's a good point. And it really is. I mean, Canadians look at America like we are just guns a-blazing. They really do. And we are not just guns a-blazing here. You know, we have people carrying guns, and I'm willing to bet I would feel safer in a grocery store in America than a grocery store in Canada. That's because anybody can kill with anything. You can take a bat, smack somebody in the head with it, and kill them. It's very simple. In America, you can't just do that. You're not just getting away. You're almost constantly next to somebody with a gun. Because 120.5 people own guns per 100 people in America. So everybody's estimated to have a gun or more. Everyone's estimated to have more than one gun. And that's the thing. We have so many less deaths than they do in Canada. Compared to the population. Compared to the population, we have a lot more less deaths than Canada. Compared to population. And that's just, in Canada, about 500 people commit suicide a year. USA has 20,000 people commit suicide a year. Now let's compare 330 million versus 40 million people, or 37.59 people, or a million people. But that's besides the fact. We'll just round it up to 40. So 330 million people compared to 40 million. 500 people compared to 20,000 people. That is not a lot. No, that is a lot less than Canada, especially seeing how Canada is more spread out than America, a lot more spread out. And don't mind my chair squeaking. It's just Also, I can't get over this number. 60,000 aggravated assaults would have been prevented by guns. That is a huge number. That is incredibly huge. And it's in 2019, the gun deaths in USA were 15,292. Okay? In 2019, the gun deaths for the US was 15,292. Do you know how many people were saved by guns in 2018? 500,000 to 3 million people. Look it up on Google. How many people were saved by guns 2018? That's all you have to look up, and you'll find your answer. 500,000 to 3 million people compared to 15,292. I will take that any day. I will take that any day. Do you know why it's so hard to predict how many people were saved by guns? Because they don't die. Because the people don't die. Okay? Because the people using the gun does not die. That's what makes guns so good. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Let me know if you would like more. I sounded a little bit nervous. Promise next one won't sound as fidgety, because, when you start something new, you're always going to be somewhat like a little bit, tense. But yeah, I hope that this changed some of the minds of Canadians, because I presented the facts, I presented the links, I presented everything. I'm looking at a specific Canadian. Don't think his mind was changed, but I think now he knows a little bit more facts about guns. Because the thing is, and this is closing statement, 15,292 in 2019. 500,000 to 3 million people in 2018 saved. Just let that sit with you. Just let this sit with you. 1,570 murders could have been prevented. 4,177 rapes could have been prevented. And over 60,000 aggravated assaults could have been avoided. Just let that sit with you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye.